Get the orb, get the armor. Do you have armor?
Yep.
You have to buy, yes.
Now you sound like Christian.
Good job, Frankie.
Nice, Frankie!
I can't recommend this. This is only for black belt orbers. Yeah, that's crazy.
Hello and welcome to OMEN Dojo. My name is Frankie Ward, and if you know me, you know that I'm always trying to get better at Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And I was thinking, I've been playing for a while now, but how do I take my training up a notch? And then I realized I know a few guys who are kind of really utterly amazing at this game. And I am, of course, talking about Astralis. In this lesson, I'm having a chat with the master of entry fragging, dupreeh. I want to know how you take the most effective angles, how to flash properly, when to fight, and how to keep cool when it all goes wrong. dupreeh, you are my, I don't know what the technical term is, are you like my sensei?
I mean, for looking at my stuff, I am your sensei, yes.
Well, thank you for being my CS sensei. dupreeh, I need to talk to you about entry fragging because I feel like the only time that I'm successful is almost by accident when I get a bit annoyed and decide to take matters into my own hands and just run onto sites. And that's not going to help me when I finally, break beyond the ranks of Gold Nova. So I need some help. What is your sort of #1 tip for getting started as an entry fragger?
I think the #1 tip when it comes to entry fragging is that you need to have really good reflexes and a really good understanding of how your opponents like to position themselves, so you don't run. But also it requires to have some really solid teammates, and you know what type of strategy you're running. So it can be really hard just going in and having to look both left, right, and center. If you have to like isolate certain positions, and you need to prioritize where you want to be looking first.
Okay, so how do you prefer to entry? Do you prefer to kind of have a slow round and then just keep the enemy guessing, and does that make you feel confident going in, or would you rather literally just action from the get-go?
I think there's a few different things that I like to do. The one thing that I like to do is to catch my opponent off guard, which usually is by either lurking a little bit on my own or actually without throwing too many grenades or anything, like just going in there and so all of a sudden I'm there and catching them off guard. I think that's one of my really good strengths, that I know my timings and I know where to look at certain times in the round. But it's also really great to, if you have like a very specific and tactical strategy where you know there's a specific smoke here and there's a specific flash here, so you know you can always look prioritize looking left instead of looking right, because if you already know where to look and where your enemies can't see you from, I think there's a way bigger chance of you getting the kill than him giving you. So I think there's two things to entry fragging, and that's either catching people off guard or actually having a really good tactic.
Talk to me about trading then. If you're going in first, I suppose the expectation is you're going to do a lot of damage, or you're going to try and get as many kills as possible, but then you're going to die. So how do you coordinate that trade?
So trading when it comes to entry fragging is really important, because if I go in and I don't get the kill that I maybe have to get, or the guy just hits a really great shot, just by me going in and dying, I can call out the position for a teammate like Device, telling Device he's in the right side instead of on the left side, because that will give him an advantage in terms of information. So if I go in and I get a kill and then I die off, then I'm like the spearhead of the attack. I'm like the one that's supposed to like break down the wall so the rest of the guys can just rush in and clean up. So getting that first initial frag is actually more important than people maybe consider. And also me going in dying, just giving the information saying the guys are positioned like this will just make it so much easier for my guys to go in and trade up. And there's nothing more frustrating than running in as a first guy, getting killed and not getting traded. So it's really important to have your teammates close to you so they can instantly refrag you and make sure that you're not like dying without any cost. So that's probably the spacing between you is really important.
If you do die without getting any kills, how do you stay cool and not just hit the desk?
I'm probably not the right guy to ask that question, but it is something that I've been working on, and it's no secret that I actually can get really frustrated when I go in and maybe there's a smoke grenade that's been failed or a flashbang that didn't hit the spot, and you just go in and as cannon fodder and get killed, and that can be really frustrating. I think it's really important to try and stay calm and keep reminding yourself that, okay, I might have died, but I got the information that was needed for my teammates to win the round, and that's what I always try to do when I go in. If I know that I have Device and Magic right on my tail and I die and they trade them out and get the advantage in the situation, then I feel like my job is done, and I might not have done anything other than just saying exactly where my opponents are. So it's also really, really important to note that even if you die, you have still done what it requires for you to be done in that round.
How do you find the angles that give you an advantage? Because obviously most maps in CS, they're CT-sided. So how are you going to find Pika's advantage, or can you even, when you're on your T side?
Finding the Pika's advantage and knowing when to peek can be really hard, because it's all about... So one thing that I try to put into my game is when there's a distraction somewhere else on the map, there might be my teammates throwing smokes or flashbangs somewhere else on the map, or maybe Device gets a kill somewhere. That is my cue to start doing something, because it's like a chain reaction. If something happens on the opponent's team, a guy gets killed, they maybe have to rotate. They may start communicating, okay, I have to go over here and you're going to be on your own. That is when they're most confused, and that is when I feel like I have to go in and make my work. And if you are not getting frags or getting any attention taken away from you, it's all about prioritizing whether you have to look left or right. What is the most common angle for your opponent to be in? Is there a smoke grenade that's covering off a choke point so you only have to look left? Or that could be many options, but knowing when to peek is also a really strong asset to have as an entry fragger, because you also need to make sure that you don't expose yourself too early. Because if you die and you don't have any guy, as we talked about earlier, to trade the frag off, you maybe just give up that you're actually hitting the A bomb side instead of the B bomb side, and it can just make sure that your opponents can get in a much more comfortable position. So it's all about getting that one frag that actually opens up the entire bomb side. If you don't get that and you throw it away on your own, it can get really ruined.
I definitely struggle with using utility to help open up the round, and flashes for me is so hard, and I know partly that's because I need to work out my jump binds, but it's also just being able to get the timing right, because so often if I do get a flash right, I leave it too late to capitalize on it. So how do you get that timing right?
I think the most important weapon as an entry fragger, or at least as a teammate of an entry fragger, is having good flashbangs. The most annoying thing you can encounter as an entry fragger is an op holding an angle, and if you're not ready for that angle, then most of the time you're dead. So the most important thing is that you also communicate to your teammates, tell them, I need a flashbang here because I can either hear there's an op here or there's a chance that there's an op here. It could also be a rifle, but someone just holding an angle on you that is really, really effective. So it's really important to be verbal and communicate to your teammates about the fact that you want a flashbang. So instead of that you have to start figuring out, okay, how can I actually make a power flash myself or anything like that, it's all about telling your teammates to flash for you so you can actually step in wide and you can go for the aggressive peek. And if the guy gets blinded and maybe takes cover behind a pillar or a box, then you have the advantage in the way that he doesn't actually know where you are. So calling flashbangs from a teammate is also a really important thing as an entry fragger.
I'm really liking the sound of this, dupreeh. Getting my teammates to do that work for me sounds like,
don't do it yourself.
Actually, I should really be trying out this entry fragger role. So I feel like maybe the best way to put things into practice is to jump on the server and have a go. So should we do that?
Let's do it. I'll teach you what I do best.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Frankie.
Sorry about that. I didn't know what was going on.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, you can hear me. That's good. Okay.
Yes. I don't know what's going on, but I can hear you.
All right, let's go. Rush.
Okay.
Okay, we're just gonna slow walk, okay? So we can try and catch opponents off guard right now. That's what we're gonna do. Just stay close to me so we have good spacing. So you're ready to revenge for it. One's dead. We're killing angles one by one. Just chill out the angles. And we got him.
You got him.
So what I did there was just like clearing one angle at a time. So now I'm gonna try and throw some flashbangs for you, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you when to push, okay?
I pushed you early.
That's right. I'm flashing now. Just go, go, go. Nice, and then one more.
On step.
Nice.
So
Now we're gonna do the Russian special. It's full bled.
probably out.
Yeah, no stopping. Oh my god, he's heaven.
Heaven.
You're alone, you're alone.
See
Nice!
you, Thank you.
I'm gonna
Got
tell you when to push, okay? Just slow walk all the way, that's before. Oh, we're just gonna wait
Got
for
ya.
him to push. Yep. Then I'm gonna tell you when to go. Nice. Good revenge frag. See, this is what I meant by revenge fragging. I was close to you, so I could get the kill instantly.
Yeah, so you can trade out.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm just waiting for a kill here. See someone stupid enough to push. Oh, I missed. Fuck that. I'm gonna try again. Oh god, I missed again. No! No! Take it out! No! Frankie, kill him!
Oh no! We're surrounded.
Okay, no, hold it! Okay, no,
Do you scream that loud on land?
Yeah, I do. When I miss like that, I definitely do.